Like the first school where all the teachers were being horrible and all the students being horrible, so that's like my little card of school.
Phoenix has been out of mainstream school for 5 years. Though he's tried in the past, he has not yet made it back into a school building during lesson time.
I have to overcome the fear of bullying somehow, and to just cope with going into schools, just in walking around the school environment, because I kind of have schoolophobia.
Phoenix is working with staff to get over his phobia step by step. This week, they are encouraging him to visit the neighbouring school.
What I want to achieve by the end of the session, for you to manage to get into Parkside for an interview.
Yes.
You know, and that's the target I like. What do you think about that one?
Yes.
Do you think that's a fair target?
Yes.
Is this going to create any sort of anxiety? If it is, we must change it. I don't want it to create anxiety. No? Sure of that?
Yes.
So I'd prefer you if you tell me if you feel anxious about it. I can sigh. I can... Yes, you are good.
I still don't like going into schools because they're quite scary. Just the actual school places, the walking down the hallways.
The day has arrived for Phoenix to try and visit a local school.
I think it's very easy to underestimate how hard it is for many of our students to do things that most people find very easy. And the mere idea of maybe going or walking past a school or walking past other groups of teenagers is so scary for them. So it is a huge thing for Phoenix to be able to be in school this morning, and hopefully he'll be able to go into Parkside later on.
And what are you wanting? What are you hoping?
I don't know. I have no expectations. It's better to have low expectations.
Is that what
You're not disappointed.
Okay, let's go. Just smile.
Phoenix impressed everyone by making it into the school building during lesson time. It's a celebratory moment for staff back at Red Balloon.
I asked, do you think you'd be able to make it here and to try it? He said yes. You know, not hesitantly or anything. Hopefully next week he will go to media.
Yeah.
So let's see, you know, let's not sing victory yet. But it's huge. Now this is the beginning of the rest of his life, as they say, but I'm happy about it.
On his next visit, Phoenix will attempt to sit in a classroom full of kids for the first time since he was 8 years old.
We can torture her.
Yay!
Oh my God, I'm not myself today.
I'm not myself today, that's a good line.
12-year-old Toby is autistic. A year ago, he started at a mainstream secondary school where he felt bullied and misunderstood.
I don't really trust people very often, but I thought, wow, I thought this place is just perfect. I just want to stay here forever, but I can't really. They've given me the confidence to get here, and to get to this stage. It's better not spoil it now. Ah, here we go. We have instructions for how to make a musical floppy drive.
For Toby, school was a complete no-no.
It's a good one.
He was frightened of teachers as well. He's autistic. We don't necessarily deal with kids who are autistic.
Oh.
What we said is that we would help him for 2 terms to develop his potential.
Toby lives at home with his mum and his teenage sister.
This is my bedroom. If you come in here, it's rather a cram through the door, and the cupboard has magic in it. Hey, fancy a nut?
Yes, please.
Well, people do say I'm a monkey sometimes. Oh! The Cat in the Hat!
After a happy time at primary school, the move to a mainstream secondary came as a big shock for Toby.
Secondary school is sort of the incidents and stuff. It brings back memories. That's what.
Yeah, not very nice memories.
No. Not very nice memories at all.
Things got so bad, he lashed out at students and teachers in desperation.
He got excluded because he was swearing, but then he'd say to me, so-and-so told me to shout this out in the classroom, and then he'd give me money for hot chocolate. Well, I mean, that's, you know, he was victimised and he'd just do it. And I said, well, did you get your money for hot? Yes, I did. And then I suppose he just used to get laughed at because he'd been sent out of the class for calling the teacher names. Thank you, darling. You're a really good boy. Go and give your hands a wash. They'll be all cheesy with some soap. His behaviour was just like Toby's cry for help, and he was just absolutely desperate for someone to do something to stop what was going on, but he couldn't actually say, you know, help, I need some help here, someone help me. So he would do all these really awful things to try and get some help.
They just sort of weren't very nice to him from what he said, like stole his lunchbox and called him names and kicked him and called him gay and girl. He used to come home and ask him, not am I a girl, but... Or they called me that at school.
It's hard to think about what it was like. It was just really very, very traumatic. I mean, my hair was falling out. It was that. It really was dire, wasn't it?
Your hair really was falling out?
Yes, it was falling out, wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
Even now, a year on, it still hurts Toby to hear about his last school.
Yeah, he won't now. He won't let you talk about where he went before, and even if we're driving past in the car,
think about that one before you say.
I didn't say anything.
You just said about that place.
You can't even talk about it in front of him because he just doesn't like it. And if we drive past in the car, he gets very, very anxious as well. And I think when he first left, I think he thought he was going to have to go back, and that wasn't very nice either.
Toby will be moving on from Red Balloon in a few weeks. He is about to face the prospect of school once again. Red Balloon students are encouraged to get out and about in public spaces where they can come face to face with kids their age. This can be hard for all of them, but particularly for 14-year-old Billy.
When we usually go to sport, there's a school that also does sports as well, and I know that they're in the same year as me.
They're over there?
Yeah.
I'm better than you. Are you alright?
I have to be, I guess. I don't want to, if I do something silly, they'll look at us. Like, I don't know.
How are you feeling?
Panicky. Doug, can we sort of move a bit away from them?
Could do. You don't want to?
Well, it's just that I recognise a few of them.
All right, OK. Yeah, we will do. All right, guys. Ollie, we're going to move over... Yeah, start jumping. No, we're going to move over to this patch.
There's just some horrible people out there. Anyway, thanks for keeping me company.
It's fine. I know how it feels when you see someone who's bullied you before. It's just, you're worrying about whether they'll do it again.
At mainstream school, lunchtime can be a nightmare for bullied kids. Here, students sit next to different people every day so that no one feels left out.
Sometimes, you know whether people liked you or not by if they wanted to sit you, and sometimes you get arguments whether, no, I don't want you to sit there, I want her to sit there. And you kind of feel really upset about it. But here, you can't really upset anyone else by saying, no, you can't sit there, I want her to sit there.
At his last school, Billy would avoid the canteen altogether.
I didn't eat, really. Maybe if I was lucky, I would quickly get an apple and then leave. I was just basically skipping my lunchtime meals because I didn't feel safe at all.
Having been here a few months now, Billy is still finding it hard to be around the others.
I don't know why, but sometimes I get moods when I don't feel sociable at all, really. And it's one of those moods, and I'm like, but this isn't... I'm not usually like this, but I seem to be trying to separate myself from everyone. I've sort of realised during lunchtime that I shouldn't be just doing my work. I should also be socialising with people, because that's the hardest task for me.
Why is that the hardest task?
Oh, it's just really hard for me, because with one person that's fine, 2 is maybe, possibly, but 3 I can't really do that. I think I just need to just refresh myself, like reading a book and then going back downstairs and for the last 10 minutes and making a conversation with people. I just need to escape. I sort of like made myself an imaginary world. I just felt like I was being crushed, and they were throwing thorns at me, loads of spears at me, and I couldn't even dodge or avoid it. I was obsessed with this series of books because they were the only good things that happened to me. I pretended to be the main character and just played through it, you know, when I was on my own, because I was just so lonely.
You know that one of the things we aim for is to get people to be more independent. So is there anything you can think of that could help you become more independent?
More
self-sufficient, for example?
I don't know, but I want to be those things.
You're very sweet. Soon, and I'm not saying just now, I think at least we could start next term, but what would you feel about coming into school by bus? You can be very honest.
Well, I'm going to think about it.
Think about it, okay. Do you know why we promote that? Can you think of a few reasons why we could promote that?
Is it to interact with other people?
And it helps you become more independent, doesn't it? If you have to get on the bus and handle the money, when you get on the bus, when you get off the bus, when you walk into the school from the bus station, etc. It's daunting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we wouldn't just make you do it just like that. We'd work with you for that.
Okay.
Would you think of that?
I will think about it.
Think about it and let me know what you thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start putting it in place.
Simple song.
Adam lives with his parents and cares for his mum, Althea, who has multiple sclerosis.
How many bananas? On a day-to-day basis, I help my mum with getting her shoes on, getting out of bed, eating, drinking, brushing her teeth, doing makeup, brushing her hair. She says that she was able to walk, and I believe her on that bit, but will I ever remember her walking is no, never.
Adam, that's really nice, thank you.